Good morning. I can't turn. There we go. We come outside and I don't know how to turn my microphone on. Can't see the little light. Hey, I want to talk to you, but before I do, I need props. So, bear with me.
Look at the props. Mom, what's this big for?
I want to let you know, too, we also have, even though we're out here in the park, we do have Child Song this morning. That's for kids from ages 3 to 9. I got that right. That's for kids 3 to 9. Andy and Meredith are back there waving their hands. Take your kids back there and sign them in back there, and then they'll take them where they're going to go. So let's go ahead and have the kids going on Child Song this time.
I can? Yeah. No, we're not playing.
No, it is Child Song.
Pastor, hang with me. Me, I'm
How many of you were here at the movie nights the last couple nights? Just go ahead and raise your hand. I can't count claps. There's a few. Some of you guys missed it. We were showing movies here the last couple nights here this weekend. We showed some movies on the screen in Washington Park. I heard it was a great time. I myself was driving safely from Illinois here, so I missed them. But I heard it was a good time, yes?
Yes.
Cool. Very cool. Really glad that you guys have come here this morning. We'll give just a couple more minutes here before I launch anything too serious to let the kids sign up. So if you got kids 3 to 9 right back there, go ahead and take your kids back there. Meredith and Andy will sign them in and we'll get moving here in a second. They're going to have a very good time over there. And we're going to have a good time over here because I got props.
We lost some of the kids. You can sit over here.
I know some of you, I see some faces I don't know, and I know it's a little unusual to meet out in the park. We do have a building. We actually meet at Cielo Azul, the elementary school just up the street, and they're very gracious, and we really like meeting there, and it's a great place for us. We get our screen up, and we show you lots of video clips while we're talking. We have a good time. It gives us everything we need there, and really appreciate that. But during the summer, we've done this a couple times. I think it's going to be a regular tradition for us. Even come the day that we will have our own building, I expect we'll still come out and worship in the park, worship outside, because it's well, let's face it, it's New Mexico. And isn't this beautiful? You can't see the sky because you're under the canopy, but it's just a beautiful blue. And here we are out here getting a chance just to talk about God out here. But it might be unusual for some of you to think of a church actually coming out. Even some of your life singers that are here regularly, it might be a little unusual for you to think of a church meeting outside in the grass. And we do it because we do like to get out of the church walls now and then, out from the surroundings, because that's not what the church is about. We really believe that. And in fact, we believe that God has called us as a church to go out, to be out in the community. And we like to meet you guys, those of you who live out here in these houses, out here and in the neighborhoods. We love to meet you guys as you come over and join us. It's really our pleasure, because we want to be, whether you come to our church or not, we really want to be your community church. You may never come, but our conviction, and I want you to understand this, I would not say this out here in the open air where you can hear me if I didn't mean it. Our conviction is that God has put us in this community to serve you in this neighborhood, and we really believe that. And so if you have needs or you have things that you're in need of, come to us. And as God provides the resources and the abilities, we will help you and we will serve you. And we really believe that's why we're here. That's one reason we want to come out here. But I also know there's a lot of different pictures of the church in the minds of Americans out there, of what the church looks like and how the church comes across and what the church is about. And the pictures vary in a lot of different directions. I know that one picture of the church is a little bit like this. Now, I went to Walmart this morning because I said I just drove in yesterday, 20-hour trip, 24 hours, because My kids made me stop so they could go to the bathroom now and then. So I was 24 and eat. So it was I got Pop-Tarts at one point and told them, hold on until we get home. I did, didn't I? So,
Yeah, so much for that.
yeah. So I was driving, so I only had a chance just this morning. I ran out to Walmart. And actually what I was really hoping to find, this looks a little bit too gender neutral, a little bit too barbecue-like. I could get away wearing this. What I really wanted to find was one of those really frilly frou-frou aprons, kind of pink, but they just don't have those anymore. So here's the thing, though. Picture, if you would, the Ozzie and Harriet apron, right? The checkers and the lace and the ruffles on the bottom, kind of frou-frou. This might help a little bit.
That's almost.
All right, so here, I know.
Like that ever happens.
So I never barbecue, so this is as ridiculous as frou-frou. But the deal is for some people this is the way the church is. It's kind of quaint. It's kind of, if you picture kind of the Ozzie Harriet apron, it's kind of old-fashioned. It's kind of out of date. It's kind of 50s, kind of 60s. It was good, and it was nice, and it was harmless. But let's face it, it was just a big TV show anyway. And there's not really anything there. There's no power. There's nothing to be offered. And that's how a lot of people see the church, and that might be how you see the church. There's other people who think the church is all about the cash register, right? It's all about the money. It's all about the business. And it's not just about money. It's about demanding. It's about taking. That the church is out there always demanding stuff. They're demanding your money. They're demanding your service. They're demanding your respect. They're demanding your park so they can use it on Sunday morning. They didn't demand it. They just are using it. But they demand things. You may see the church that way. That's the way some people see the church, just always out there demanding. For other people, the church is the prophet, right? It's the Moses staff. It's the law, the condemnation, the stern, the self-righteousness. The people who stand there and say, we know what's right. You come into our church, you come into our services, and we'll tell you what you're supposed to do. We'll tell you how to do it, and we'll tell you how bad you are for not doing it when you come back next week. And that's how a lot of people see the church, the self-righteous and the stern. And this could even be a sign, right? We could put a sign on this, maybe a hate sign. I hate this, or I hate that, or I hate the other. Sometimes we think a church is marching and they're all about the hate and the anti. And so these may be the ways that you see the church. Maybe the church is kind of old-fashioned. It's okay, but it's out of date. Or maybe the church is all about demanding something from you and somebody is taking a picture. I knew it would happen. And maybe the church is all about having the laws and the commandments and being stern and being self-righteous. Take a look. I wish this was frou-frou. This would be such a better sort of image, right? So just imagine the frou-frou, if you will.
Should have brought this one on with the stripes.
This is a pretty ridiculous picture right here. This is pretty silly. This is the way the church is seen by a lot of people, and sometimes all at once, kind of schizophrenic, kind of strange, kind of bizarre. It's not my picture of the church, and it's not the picture of Lifesong. In fact, a lot of these are things, these are the antithesis of the things that we strive to be, and that we believe God calls us to be as a church. So I do want to share with you this morning, I want to share with you a little bit of my picture of the church. I want to share with you what I believe the church is. But before I do that, I got to introduce you to somebody. Because what's interesting about this picture here, all these elements, these things miss the most important things about what the church is supposed to be. These elements right here miss everything that the church is supposed to be about. And yet this is the picture that a lot of us have had as we've grown up. Or maybe we've been in churches where this is what it seemed like. But the problem is, and one of the problems is I got to introduce you to somebody, and you won't be surprised, because you do know in America that the church has something to do with this guy named Jesus. You're aware of that. And in fact, if I say to you I want to introduce you to Jesus, the problem is you have as many pictures of Jesus as you do of the church. And some of them look, unfortunately, a lot like this. I mean, if this was a robe instead of an apron, and these were sandals instead of tennis shoes, you still got the staff. This might be how you picture Jesus walking around, right? Maybe the cash register's a little hard to place. But maybe you picture Jesus as maybe you've seen Jesus and you picture him as stern and condemning, standing up on the mountainside and screaming wrath and rage and judgment on you. Or maybe you've seen Jesus as a good teacher, a mild-mannered guy, just kind of made his way through life, and that he was unfairly killed, but he was weak too. He just kind of allowed it to happen. Maybe that's your picture of Jesus.